Yes, can God love me even if I'm a mess? Lord, I hope so. Even though I've done some awful things, can God still love me? Oh, I hope so. Even that, and that is what keeps a lot of us from going ahead and embracing God and embracing our past and embracing everything. This in lesson 12 we're on this week in this book, The Search for God, and the chapter is love, and the first sentence says, "Love is God." Yeah. Not God is love, but love is God. And then it goes on to say that sums up the law in 3 words. Love is God. The thing is, would I be willing to put down my personal definition of love and embrace what love really is? And we said, but how do I know? Well, ask. Go within and ask. Spirit, tell me what love is. Now here's the key to this. You ask and then you listen. You don't, and tell me love is da-da-da-da-da. Because we do that. We're busy telling God what God is, and we're busy telling Spirit what Spirit is. We're busy telling each other what we are, and we're liars. How do I know we're liars? Because so often we don't ask. We don't ask. We don't go within and ask what's actually going on here. We don't go within and ask, what is love? Love certainly isn't nice. Look around you. Love is not nice. If love cannot be absent, a lot of people are struggling. And if love were nice, people wouldn't struggle, would they? Would they? And some people say, how can God allow this to happen? And I'll tell you how. Because God is love, and love is God. We're allowed to do whatever we want. And we can make as big a mess as we want to make. And we can go as far out of integrity in our relationships, and we can steal and lie and kill each other. And God is still love, and love is still God. But we don't have to do all that. We can stop now. We can go back into integrity by asking, Spirit, how would I live in integrity today? You know, just look at your personal relationships and ask yourself, am I in integrity? Don't start telling Spirit how you're out of integrity. Ask, am I in integrity? And if not, would you tell me how I am? Even though I'm afraid of the answer. I'm afraid of what it's going to take for me to be in integrity, because I might have to sacrifice a couple of things. Like my opinions. So I was looking at this book I just love this book. But I looked at a couple of things here that really jumped out. One is, his love endureth even to those who harden their hearts, and wills that no one should perish, rather that in the love as may be manifested in the daily walks, the daily activities of every soul, each may show through that manifested the love which impels the giving of everything. Impels the giving of everything. And then listen to this, the power of love. Love is the force that uplifts and inspires humankind. Children starve without it. Men and women wither and decay when it is lacking. It costs nothing. Yet its value cannot be measured by material standards. Are we clear here? So the love that is cannot be measured by the material earth. Thank goodness. It can lift wretched human beings from the miry clay of despair and set their feet upon the solid rock of respectability and service. I am proof. I am proof. I was a wretched human being. And I was taught that I could lift up. I could know that God loved me when I forgot. And I could live a life of service. I could be the light that walked. You're welcome. Love is that dynamic force which brings into manifestation all things. It is the healing force, the cleansing force, and the force that blesses all things we touch. With our hearts filled with love, we will see only goodness and purity in everybody and everything. As love is God, it is therefore our abundant supply. Do we lack? Do we love? Do we lack? Do we love? So if you feel you're lacking in life somewhere, ask, where can I give some love? You see where you're coming up short? Where can I give some love right now? Who could use some love? What could use some love? Where can I shed some love on life? And then there's no more lack. It's the coolest thing. For years, I practiced when I didn't have any money and stuff. It's like, okay, where can I do service today? How can I help somebody else? And suddenly, I wasn't sitting alone and miserable and feeling like I didn't have anything. I was part. I remember once going to a party and I was afraid. It was a big event. I had a tuxedo on and everything. And I looked in the mirror and I said, God, let me be a part of the party tonight. I had the best time. Okay. Do we allow conditions to keep us from the realization of the presence of God? Speak for yourself. If so, how can we expect the flow of abundance when we are keeping the channel blocked by our thoughts and attitudes? We are standing in the way of our own success. When conditions arise which seem hard to endure, if we would realize that we are workers together with God and that each condition is perhaps some problem in our lives that must be met and overcome, not suppressed, not repressed, but must be met head on. Just face it without telling Spirit what it is. Ask Spirit what it is. We might stop and count our blessings instead of counting our hardships. Only with our hearts filled with love, love for conditions, love for people, love for God, can we fully realize this. Life is growth. We can never grow in knowledge and understanding and really be channels of blessings until we have endured and conquered in ourselves just the things that we would help others to overcome. Love allows no place for hate and recognizes no evil, but sees all things working together for good. So here's the deal. Stuff you don't like. Remember, love sees all things working together for good. So love sees this working together for good. It doesn't mean you have to keep maintaining the misery, but it's like, okay, this isn't bad either. I don't like it, but it's bringing me closer to God. It's making me pray. It's making me seek counsel, however you want to look at that. I love this. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And I thought, lay down his life for his friends. And then I thought, I got it what it is. And I put down, lay down his opinions for his friends. Seems like death, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like, I will die if I don't have my opinions. I will die if I don't have thoughts about these people in my life. I will just lay down and drop dead if I have to ask God what they are and who they are and what's going on here. And that's what, when I read that, that's the first thing I thought of. Lay down my opinions for my friends. Wow. Wow, I'm not all there yet. I gotta tell you, but I'm not here to do my own therapy. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever... Now, what does that mean he gave us? I don't think it's a sacrifice. When I read that, and I realize, because the Son is not Jesus. The Son is Christ. In metaphysics, this is what we understand. The Son is the Christ mind. Gave his... The only Son is us, is all of us. But it's in our highest form. It's in our awakened mind. Gave the Christ so that we might know ourselves. Now remember, Jesus didn't know the Christ. It's just a word also made up. But it means anointed one. And what does anointing in the mind mean, in the intelligence? Except awakened, aware, conscious of reality as opposed to my opinions. And over here, we'll end with this. How much are we willing to bear, to do, and to suffer that others may become aware of the love of God? And I had to look at this again, because suffer, God doesn't need us to suffer. But so what would suffering be? Suffering is usually meant as a sacrifice. Well, where does the sacrifice come in? My opinions! My opinions that I so dearly love. Oh my good, don't you like your opinions? I hope so, because I know most of you are just spouting them off right and left. you know, whoever will listen, even if it's just yourself, in traffic, on a subway, wherever. Oh, these people, these crazy people, oh, this is happening. Do you believe that happened in 3rd grade? You know, it's all opinions. Opinions, we've got them all over the place. And, yeah, could the suffering be the surrender of our ego and opinions? Would you be willing to allow love to be the reality of your life? Mm-hmm. And make your decisions in love, despite your fear. And then the 12 steps, the 4th step is made a fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Well, I know very few people who don't go into that with a lot of fear. It actually means courageous. It means doing it in spite of the fear. Would you be willing to ask Spirit what's going on here, no matter how strong of an opinion you have? Ask Spirit, where's the love here? Where's the love in what I hate? Where's the love in what I fear? And where's the love in what I like the best? Where's the love? Would you be willing to just step back from what you think and ask God? And then step back over here and ask Holy Spirit, where's the love? Where's the love in my body? Where's the love in my words? Where's the love in this person yelling at me right now? Where's the love in those words? Where's the love of when my mother said certain things to me and my father said certain things to me and the neighbor said certain things? Spirit, I'm ready to see. I'm ready to step back, lay down my opinions, and give it up to God. Because love is God. Congratulations to all of us.